Alrighty, we're back. We're on coat 3. Yesterday, if you were watching, I had the push rod debacle. No big deal. It's only wood. Cut it out. Solder a new one in there. Got that all fixed up. So we're all good to go there. Guys, have faith. You got to have faith. I'll get her fixed. Don't worry. Put that right there. So we'll give her another coat of dope. I'm going to put 4 coats of dope on this before tissue. So it'll be this one, this coat of dope here, then I'll sand it, another coat of dope, and then we'll start tissuing. That might happen tonight. We might start tissuing tonight. And Gordon Delaney seems to think this is going to be just fine. He guessed the weight right off the bat without me putting it on the scale. I mean, he was within 0.4 of an ounce. He said 26, and it was 25.6. I don't know. It was 0.4 of an ounce difference. So he said it'll be fine. And he would know because he builds a lot of profiles. We're gonna build us a Super Tiger here, maybe today on this stream. I have a lot of work to do. But here again, there's no rush in this because we're done. Our flying season is over. We won't see flying for 3 months. So I can build the 46 for this one on the stream, and then we can build a 60 for getting another Viper ready because supposedly I got some wood coming. We'll build another Viper. That'd be 4 in the series. This is that'd be 5 in the series. This is the 4th one in the Viper series. I really brought it back in a bang. So as far as the Viper profile goes, it's the same numbers as Viper 1, but I never built the profile. So if you're going to enter it in profile or N30, you're going to have to ask your CD. I mean, it'll definitely fly in profile. But you have to ask your CD if you're capable to fly it in N30. I mean, if I took it to the Nats, hey Terry. Yes, the plans are available. All you have to do is send me $40 via PayPal and mark in the description plans, and I will send them right out to you. They'll be there in 2 seconds. The PDF, then take that down and have them printed. That saves the mailing fees and all that other nonsense. They've been 30 years in the making. Steve Barry, one of our members here, he was kind enough to cat them up, and they look pretty good. And mark plans, and if you send them right now and tell me you sent them, I'll just turn around and send them to you right this second. These profile plans, I've got to get off to Steve. The drawings. I guess he's going to do a set of profile plans too. And I'll tell you what I'll do. Because I'm not a big fan of profile plans, I'll include I'll send when they're done, I'll send them along if they get done. That way you can have either or. So that's the deal. But seeing as that I'm kind of forgetful, you'll have to remind me. Not like I don't have anything going on. I use this heavy ball bat wood as a leading edge and trailing edge. This stuff takes the dope great because it's so damn hard. I'll go ahead and paint this. This doesn't have any dope on this, so we'll start getting this one ready to go. Gonna have to be sanded again, finish sanding when I glue it on for the final time, but it can't go on until the covering's on. Because it will be super filled in. And we got to have that room up there for the tissue to grab. Hey, Tony. No, they don't dock points for the yaw. But it sure doesn't look good. That's why all my airplanes are designed with these things in mind, the yaw. That yaw is caused by, thank you, that yaw is caused by misalignment of weight. Let me reference this. Maybe I've tried to type it before on Stunheimer, but nobody, my typing skills are so bad, nobody grasped what I'm saying. What causes that yaw? Well, it's everything. We've got centrifugal force going with us, and we got it, momentum and inertia. So body of motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an equal and opposite force. So this thing is yawing out. It's set in a wedge, a stagger like a sprint car to turn right, but it's really going left. So it's yawing out. It's to keep the lines tight. When you are traveling 55 miles an hour and you give it up like that, it goes like that. It wants to straighten up. The reason it wants to straighten up is because your lead outs, your pivot point of your bell crank, and your weight box are not in line. So you want to keep that. You try to do that from the building, and you try to plot it so that the center of the lead outs, the center of the bell crank, and the center of the weight box are in a straight line. You want to run, I don't run any rudder offset. What that does, it induces a crab in it. The airplane's wanting to slide sideways. I do run mucho motor offset. I run 2 to 3 degrees on my built-up airplane. That way you have line tension overhead. Motor offset is your friend. And that's the wedge. We got the stagger, like a sprint car, and the asymmetrical wings. My wings on this are 1.25 inches longer inboard than they are outboard. So that creates lift on the inboard side, causing the airplane to want to roll out to compensate for the weight of the lines. That means you have to use less tip weight. Less tip weight or concentrated weight. All this shit is trying to line up as you're going around around the flat plane of the circle with centrifugal force. So you got a big heavy engine here. You got all this stagger and all this wedge, and when you give it up like that, it wants to straighten out. So try to engineer it. And I'm not a aircraft engineer by far, but I have built so many airplanes. I can tell you exactly. They couldn't. Steve, I can look at an airplane and tell you what's wrong with it in about 2 flights. And I can, when I test fly an airplane, I can tell in the first 100 feet of flying it whether it's going to be a good airplane or a bad airplane. Just by going like that. If it does some weird shit, scrap it. If you built something wrong into it, and try not to do it on the next one. Let's see, I didn't get that side yet, or did I? Yeah, I did. Joe Gilbert flew Steve's airplane. He said, "Boy, this thing is really trimmed nice." Charles flew my airplane. "Boy, this is really trimmed nice." I'm not saying I'm the world's greatest trimmer. I leave that up to Paul Walker. He's the aerospace engineer. But for my airplanes, I can tell you what's wrong with them pretty damn quick. And like Steve's airplane, I watched it 2 flights. I said, "Well, we got to do this, this, and this to it." And everybody says, "Well, only do one thing at a time." I don't go do that route. I could tell you by looking at it. Watch it fly upside down to see if the wings are level, upright and inverted. See how it turns. The turn rate's equal. And you got to do this all in 1 flight. And lap speeds, obviously, is the engine run. Line length, you can see by how much the lines are sagging. If the airplane's too heavy to carry the weight of the lines, the lines are sagged. 18 thousandths lines really bow. That's why I'm glad they got rid of that rule. I hated flying on them stupid things. I always flew on 15 when I could get away with it. All them little rat turds up on top of they call them vortex generators. That is a total waste of time. The only difference they make is psychological. It ain't helping the air. I've watched them airplanes with rat turds on them. I've also watched them Rube Goldberg Velcrank flap horn systems. I can't see the difference. They say that you can feel the difference. I don't know. I've never flown one, but I can't see the difference in how the airplane fly. that little TV antenna that Kenny Stevens did. Everybody would go, "Ooh, what's that for?" You know, because the RC guys put it up on behind the canopy. Well, that's only good in one area, and that's knife edge flight. Well, the only thing we fly knife edge is overhead 8s. And that ain't going to do shit. You're going to have motor offset to keep the lines out there. Okay, let's see. We got to put, I didn't do any dope on the ribs on this side. But there again, what do I know? I don't know anything. I never won the Nats. I don't practice enough. You really got to be dedicated to flying. Them guys, and they, you know, them guys that go out and burn a pallet of fuel before the Nationals like Newman did, or I'm sure Doug Moon put in lots of flights. And they have a good coach and they're dedicated. They take a sandwich out there, or spend all day out at the field. They deserve to win. You know, it's hard work. But I can build with the best of them. I tell you that right now. I've seen their airplanes. The best compliment I ever got was from Bob Hunt when he was holding my Thunderbolt, and he said, "You can't tell whether this came off Billy's bench or yours." That's right. Then, of course, it sat on the front row 3 years in a row, so that was good. But then I got wise. I quit using death paint, that spray shine crap. So now it's a lot more work for me to get on the. Plus, there's a lot of bias against me, jealousy, whatever. It don't matter. So this is coat 3. By the time this dries, we'll, I'll flip it over here and we'll give a light sanding and then do another coat, and then I'll be ready for tissue. I'm going to spring for the lightweight tissue on the wings. I'm going to use a pack of silk span. I'm not going to use that old K&S. I'll use that on the fuselage. Or I even got some Jap tissue I might use on the fuselage. I don't know. We're going to use up what I got in stock. I'm not going to buy anything for this airplane. Okay. These are all sanded with 400. I'm starting to pick up a nice shine. You can see that the airplane's starting to get white. I mean, I probably got about 15 colors underneath that bench. I said I was going to make it red, but I'm not sure. We're going to make it snazzy. We're going to make it snazzy. You know, another reason why I like a, you know, this is a profile. You don't get any appearance points in profile, but let's just say that I happen to drill everything into the ground at the Nats, or I'm at another contest that offers appearance points, and let's just say all I have to fly is this profile. Well, if you do a crappy job on it, you're going to get shitty points. So you might as well prepare for the worst. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Good morning, Marcel. You guys, please realize if I don't say good morning to you after you say morning or whatever, it's because I've already said it. Well, I hope Gordy's right. I hope it's going to be in the 45-ounce range. That'd be great, but I don't think so. We shall see. Sparky, what, Terry? That's my name. What do you need? You know, I have put tissue on in 3 coats, but I think 4 coats is better. We're only on our second day finishing, so. This is pretty crude. I recently used a striping brush to apply cover right on my ribs. Fantastic tool. Oh yeah, I got striping brush, and that's what I used on the last airplane. I actually used a scroller, a number 3 scroller on it. And it carries more paint than a striping brush. You're looking for a good scrolling brush, or it'll stripe or scroll. Steve Kafka, look him up. Kafka. They're probably the best brushes out there. I got Mac striping brushes. I got Kafka. I got oh, I can't even say Linknetter or whatever the hell they are. I got lots of brushes. This here is a 1-inch wide one-stroke brush for lettering. This ain't a shit brush. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got jet stroke. I got all kind of stuff for painting, striping, painting, scrolling, gold leafing, whatever. Okay. Where I cut that center rib, you'll never see it. Never see it. I did have to change the push rod exit block though, because I had to cut the hole bigger so I could slide that rib on without a problem. This feels smooth. I already sanded this. Yep. Had to reshape this morning. Some of the stuff I really fell asleep on. Okay. This doping business is really a crude process. Hey, Jonathan. It's It's like nothing. It's just labor. Takes no brains. Flopping on there. Yeah, she did it first, but I just said, "Hey, smell this. That's fingernail polish remover. Now smell this. What does it smell like?" Same shit. And to be honest with you, this Randolph dope doesn't smell anywhere near like Aerogloss did. This has toluene in it and some low grade thinners. The Randolph Aerogloss has MEK and xylene and some high grade thinners. It's potent shit. Of course, that's why they took it away from us. Afraid we were going to drink it, I guess. You're that stupid? Well, you deserve to croak. As my dad would say, law of attrition. Survival of the fittest. Okay. Yeah, I use the striping brush when I get the covering on and I add the extra clear on top of the ribs. I use a striping brush. But for this, it ain't worth just slop it on there. It's got to be sanded anyway, so it don't matter. Yeah, gonna have to sand that. That's a roughie. Yeah, I love dope. It's good stuff. Aerogloss was the cream of the crop, though. It was top of the line. This stuff here, it's what we got. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Got to catch this part back up with the rest of this coat too on this one. We'll sand after this coat, and then of course this gets fiberglass, so it don't matter. Well, there's the first hair that ever come off this brush. Okay, on to this one. Let me get some water. This is the side here. We need to sand this a little bit. Smooth. Aerogloss has a pleasant, sweet smell for me. Yep. Ambroid Aero. What the best smelling stuff is Johnson's baby powder in Aerogloss. After you get it painted and then you sand it, and that Johnson's baby powder and Aerogloss permeates into the air, that smells good. That smells great. And I've tried Johnson's baby powder and this stuff here. I got some on the shelf. It does not smell the same. I love that smell. Johnson's baby powder in Aerogloss. I think I got that little pint of Aerogloss. I'll mix up some baby powder in it, see if I can't get some MEK as thinner, and see if I can't use that up. It's a shame they took that away from us. What's really a shame is they took away my DC 540. DC 540 was so hot with xylene, you could spray on the primer, sand it, and by the time you're done sanding, your hands would be tingling. I don't use gloves. You could feel that xylene permeating your skin. Is that good for you? Who knows? Probably not, but something's going to kill you, so might be something you have fun with. They took all the lead out of paint because kids were eating it. Yeah. Well, I really like, back in the day, I like carbon tetrachloride. I used to use that, great cleaner. I used that barehanded. If anything was going to kill me, it would have done it by now. Is it good for you? No. Possibly can be toxic and harmful and all that other crap, but don't worry about it. Don't eat it. I don't know that I did this or not on this side, but we'll do it again. Frank, if you're watching, I got it fixed just like I told you I would. I seemed like I got aggravated yesterday during that fix because I don't need any suggestions on how to do that. I'll think it through. I'll think the easiest way through. Thanks for your input, but I got it. It gets aggravating when I bent 4 or 5 push rods to get it right. But as long as I had it torn apart, I wanted it right. I didn't want it half-assed. Not putting any Z-bends in anything. And you know, my name's on this airplane. I don't want to. If I lose another profile of something stupid like that, yeah. If I lose another profile from a bad push rod again, I'll never build another profile. It's not worth the hassle. And the other profile I built, it was a D-tube wing, and it was dope finished, but it was a 60 size profile. And it would have been a nice airplane. It flew really good. Idiot me forgot to tighten up the screw on the elevator push rod. You know, everybody says, well, you make mistakes. Yeah, I make lots of mistakes. The thing is, pick up and move on. You just keep right on going. Okay, we need to wait for that to dry so I can flip it over and we'll give it a light sand and put the 4th coat on. And after I end this stream, we'll take a lunch break, and then when I come back, we'll cover it. We'll cover it. That'll be 4 coats of dope on the thing. This is gonna have to get sand anyway, but we might as well put some dope on it. Get some super fill in there. We'll get it. This has got a lump right there. We're gonna have to fill with simple. Yeah, pre-flight. Yeah, well, Just took it to Huntersville. I flew it twice. I think I had about 4 flights on that airplane. I flew it twice in Dayton and it flew great. I took it to Huntersville for a contest because they were going to run profile and I was going to enter. Took it out of the car, flew okay, flew great, you know. The third time, I did some maneuvers, you know, checking it out, feeling like it just felt kind of weird. It just kept right on. I come out of the turn, made the turn okay, and I was flying along level, and I just drove right into the ground. I was giving it up, didn't matter. Had flap control, no elevator control, no pitch control. So I lost a $300 engine on that one, but saved the liner and put it in the engine that's in the Junar. That's the one I'm flying in the Junar. I guess while I'm sitting here, I can start field stripping this 46. We're waiting for this dope to dry. We can field strip this 46 and see if it's going to come apart easy or be a bear. If it's going to be a bear, I'll be pissed. Okay, where you at? 46. It's right here. Okay. Okay, where'd you go? Don't matter, but I got more bolts. It'd be nice to find the one that I had in there. Oh well, we ain't gonna worry about it. I need a ball driver. Right there, that is. This nut driver. And he's a snap-on wrench. Quarter. That's 5/16. There we go. No, that's... What the hell happened to my good wrenches? There they are. Where's that bent wrench? I think that's in my toolbox. Okay. And we need the cresicle wrench. Might want to get a box to put this crap in. Liner. There's the new liner. This flat straight blade screwdriver. Screwdriver is just a little bit too big. Come on now. Got a little smaller one. I think this is going to screw up the threads too, though. This plug is in there, buddy. Oh, there it is. Let's see, I got gaskets up there. A new head gasket there. Several. I doubt that I put it together. I got to get this case cleaned up. I got to go get some carburetor cleaner. Okay. So weak on compression, it's ridiculous. Pretty weak. Let's see. Yep, long, so two different sizes. Yeah, I got sonic cleaner over there. Yeah, I guess I could dunk it in my ultrasonic. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that. Now I need a popsicle stick. Push that liner up. Of course, I might have to heat the case. Let's take the needle valve and spray bar assembly out of it. We can put a nut on there and whack that with a hammer. I don't have an arbor press, so screwed on that idea. Well, let's strip down about as far as we're going to get without some intervention here. For you guys who don't know on Super Tigers, this little plug right here, that's where the wrist pin has to come out. You take a 256 tap, you tap it in the back of the wrist pin and pull it out. And then you can get the piston out. Then you put a nut on this and then wrap the end of that, and that'll force this conical thing out and the bearings will come out. I got new sets of bearings here. Let's see. Big ones are for the Super Tiger 60 and the little ones are for the 46. So we need them. How many head shims does this thing have on it? Didn't have any head shims on it. Huh. 0 head shims, I think. Nope, we've got one here. Got one big thick one. One big thick one. I might reuse that one. It looks pretty good, really. I got no, I got one here. I got one big thick one there. Might put both of them on. Tame the motor down. I just put soap and water in that stupid thing and turn it on, let it run. Let me get a popsicle stick and whittle that, see if we can fish that liner out of there. But I think we're going to have to heat the case. I got a torch I can heat the case with. Well, almost. Yeah. Of course, it really don't matter. I'm not going to use this cylinder and liner again, but you never know. Somebody might want it. I got extras of everything on Super Tiger. Everything. There we go. Yeah. We're going to have to heat it up. So I'll dunk this thing. Look at the sludge that was in that thing. I bet this motor never been apart. Still got crosshatch in the cylinder though. No scoring. But the ring is tired. I hate to grab that with pliers. So I think the best thing to do is going to be to heat that up in that crock pot. Yep, don't fall down. Don't get excited. So we'll get that going while I'm sanding. I didn't figure it'd be done in one. Yeah, I got my bearings yesterday. These are the Boca bearings for Super Tiger 46, and the other ones are for 60. They sent me a little, a bunch of postcards and a gift package and for Christmas. Nice of them, but not necessary. Okay. So I'm not going to continue with this. I'm just going to wait for. I got to get this off the bench and set up the crock pot and start for the ultrasonic and start cleaning this. And I'm hoping that that will loosen the castor oil because it was caked on thick. So this liner is probably stuck. I probably have to use my torch and heat this case and grab it with pliers or whatever I got to do to get it out of there. I don't have any oven mitts, so I'm gonna have to improvise. Okay, so let's set this here. I'll just worry about that on the next stream or off camera or whatever. I got another Super Tiger I bolt right in. This is a new one. Another new one. This one's got real good compression. I don't know why guys do that. But we got another motor just in case. You're not pressed. I got another one in parts. Yeah, solvent, whatever. I'm just gonna crock pot it or ultrasonic it, let it run for I don't know all day. We're an hour and 4 minutes in. We'll get back to this. Boy, this thing's light with all the shit off of it. Okay, nice once over with the. Let's get a new piece so we don't grind in any rocks. All right, have fun. Sanding's always good. Good. Okay, we're gonna hit it with this, and we're gonna move on to coat 4. And then I'll take a break after coat 4. Get a sandwich. That'll be, oh shit, it's already 2 o'clock. She'll be in covering tonight, though. When you grab these parts here that haven't been sanded, you can feel they're a little hairy, you know. You don't want that. So. Now I have been known to not sand and sand at the end, but John has convinced me that it's better to sand lightly between coats than it is to sand heavily at the end. And I must admit he's probably right, because it's easier. But it can be done because I've done it 100 times. Not sand, get some buildup, and then sand at the end. If you can sand a brushed on paint job to look like it was sprayed on, brush and buff, why couldn't you just, you know, put 4 or 5 coats on it and sand it out and buff it and make it look just as good as a spray job? It just takes more work. But these parts are just about ready. One more coat. And the only reason why I think one more coat is 4 coats is better than 3 coats is because I'm running it so thin that you have to have some material for the paper to stick to. And I have had, no matter how much thinner I use, I have had paper come up before because I was only using 3 coats. So same amount of dope, just different coat order. Because that's all the dope right there, that white can right there. That's all the dope we're going to get for the substrate. So whatever's there is what's going on the airplane, and that's it. I'm not going to go back and tip the can. Of course, that I only had it up to there. I might add a little just to bring it up to the quart, because it normally takes a quart, and I only filled it up to there at 3/4. Didn't mix quite a quart. I was going to try to skate by with that, but I'm going to skate by with it, whatever it takes to get it right. And I looked, and I do have enough white. I could paint the airplane white with trim, which would be probably lighter than red with trim. So I have been known to change my paint job on the spur of a moment just for how much the airplane weighs. You know, you're starting to get close. Go, well, shit, I don't want to put another coat of paint on this. I just leave it white and put some trim on it, and we're done. So it could be white with red trim instead of red with white trim. Did you guys want to sit through this sand out or not? I mean, because I'd really like to have the TV going. You know, we can do an hour at a time. We're hour and 15 minutes in already. I'll run this stream hour and a half. And whatever we get done in an hour and a half is what we get done. And then I'll continue. I'll get something to eat. And I'll continue sanding. And I'll come back when we do the tissue, which should be tonight. By 7 o'clock, I should be ready to do tissue. And it's always good to get them locked up as soon as you can. Especially in weather like we got here. I mean, it's humidity gets you, the moisture gets you. You don't want this thing walking all over the place. I could paint it black. I got black paint. Black with white trim. Black with red trim. Problem is, black has to be perfect. I think white probably. White would be best. Okay. You guys got any questions on my finish method? I mean, it's so simple. Really. So simple. You can do it, finish an airplane in a week, no problem. But there's a caveat to that. My 1 week is 50 hours, 10 hours a day, 5 days. This is a 2-week airplane. We're on day 15 right now. That's 150 hours. It ain't like it just jumped together, in 15 minutes. You watch me for an hour and you figure, wow, I made progress. Yeah, but I've already put up 60 hours of video on this airplane. So I know that there's 150 hours in on it. But I will say something about this round off dope. In the old days, it used to ball up on the sandpaper when you sanded this fast. This stuff here powders off as soon as it's dry. So they've changed something in the formula to make it easier to work with. I don't know what it is. Some of that aeroglass you have to let dry for a week before you can sand it, because it would gum up the paper. But this stuff doesn't, it doesn't load the paper up. And if you start loading the paper up, stop sanding because you're going to sand grooves in the wood. So whatever chemist dreamt up the formula, they did a good job. That's rough. That's rough. Yeah, screw up. That wood is a lot harder. Yeah, that worked good. What can you say? We got a deep groove gonna have to be filled there. I mean, it's deep. Super fill will take care of it. Man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Yeah. 10 minutes. 10 minutes more, and I'm gonna end the stream, listen to TV, eat some lunch, put another coat on this, and then we'll come when we come back, we'll cover it up. Yuki profile. Here, right there. There it is. Will make me a ham sandwich. Just run your hands over, and you feel any rough spots, sand them out. So we got this wing done. That didn't take long. See, I don't know, 15 minutes. We gotta do it all over again, though. Six minutes left on this stream, guys. So if you got a question, get it in now. Little lump right there. I gotta get that out. That'll drive me fruit. What happened to my stick? I had it. There it is. I had it stick just for that. Oh, almost screwed up again. I've got to get these little turnouts in here. Got to cut some 8 little turnouts. Otherwise, the covering puckers right there. Don't ask me why. I have no clue. No matter how good you put it on, it'll pucker right there. That's good. That's good. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll do another video today when I get ready to cover this. If you guys want to see it, if you want to see how to put silk span on again, I'll do it again. I see these guys on YouTube putting silk span on, and they really don't have a clue how to do it right. I get 0 wrinkles, 0. All right, like, subscribe, and share. And after I eat lunch and I get another coat of paint on this, we'll be back probably around I'd say 5 o'clock or so, maybe 6. And we'll add the silk span to it, and that'll run till 8. Push rod fix went fine. It's all done. It'll be fine, Frank. It'll be fine. I'm glad I caught it now, though. Got easy access to the bell crank. Easier if it would have been a built-up wing. You'd have to do major surgery. I mean, I've done it before. I've replaced bell cranks and built-up wings and lead outs and all that crap. That's something you just got to sit down and think. Got to think real hard. How am I going to get that in there with the least amount of intrusion on the airframe? And trust me, it's hard to think on the fly when you're live streaming. Everybody's watching you, trying to give you suggestions. Oh, yeah. I just had to change up my push rod exit strategy is all. I had a small hole here. Now I've got a hole because I had to slide that rib in. So the push rod cover will go up against the fuselage and back that way. And now it's not a big deal. Just a different way of doing it. But it's right now, so that's all that really counts. Is it right? Perfect. All right. Now you enjoy my work. All right. Thanks. I will. I'll be back after lunch. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.